Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? It's the question everybody's asked. I could look at my text line. I could look at my Twitter. I could look at every way that you all reach out, and we've all had the same conversation, the same thought. Why not play Andy Dalton? It's a fair question to ask, and y'all know there is few people, except maybe the guy who goes by Jameis 1 of 1, who are more bullish on Jameis than me. I wanted the Saints to sign him when Tampa cut him. I was very good with them giving him a contract this year and letting him run it back for a couple seasons to see if he could be the guy you trust for the next 5-6 years. Saw a lot of parallels to when the Saints brought Drew Brees here. All the things we talked about. Physical talent, maturity, which has grown as a husband and a father as he's gone on in life, as a leader. Tremendous humility to sit and wait and watch, to learn and improve, all that stuff. But you got to go deliver. There's been few people more bullish than me about Jameis. And I'm not saying you punt on him. I'm not saying that this is a large enough sample size to say you're done with Jameis forever. What I'm saying is that dude has a broken back. His back is broke, y'all. Is broke. And I don't know. I mean, you heard Jameis on the Fox broadcast. The sideline reporter was explaining how his psoas muscle hurts every time he steps on his back foot. Yo, I wouldn't want to walk. I wouldn't want to sit. I wouldn't want to drive. I wouldn't want to do nothing if I had a broke back like he does. And he's out there playing an NFL game. Did you watch the game, the extra padding they had around him? He looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I mean, what? You cannot possibly convince me that this injury is not affecting him. I don't know there's a way that I could be convinced of that. It's not saying that he can't play through it, that he can't be effective. It's not to say any of that stuff, but it just has to be affecting him in some ways. The accuracy is not there. When at times we've seen it there. Some of the decisions, I certainly think it affects his decision whether he's going to tuck the ball and run in times or if he's throwing the ball away. I respect so much going and getting it, but man, if you're limited, I mean, I feel like I'm repeating the same thing I said last week. If Jameis isn't going to make that decision, to tap himself out, then someone's got to protect himself from himself. But Dennis Allen doesn't seem like he's going to be that guy. After the game, Dennis Allen was asked, "Are you considering a quarterback change?"
I think this. I think all the elements around him have to play better, and so I think, again, like everybody's looking for a place to go to look to place blame, but I think we got to play better as a football team in all areas, and not look to individuals really.
And still came back later in the press conference post game, asked about sitting Jameis or making a move.
No. Look, we all have to play better, and so I'm not looking to single anything out. Obviously, we got to make some corrections, and we got to do a better job as a group.
There are coexisting realities here, and to be clear, so I don't bury this any further. Yes, I think they should play Andy Dalton on Sunday. I do. I think they should. I thought they should have played Andy Dalton against Carolina. But I'm a dude sitting here with a microphone in Baton Rouge, not at practice every day, not talking to doctors, just seeing what I've seen. And there's a large enough sample size to suggest one of two things is the reality. Either his back is affecting him, and as a result, the offense isn't effective. Or, number two, his back is fine, but he's just ineffective. But either way, right now, your offense stinks. Outside of one quarter in Atlanta, that fourth quarter, when you had to go. Other than that, your offense stinks. In this season, you have scored 51 total points. 38 of them have come in the fourth quarter, which means in 3 games, you have scored a total. In 3 games, you have scored a total of 13 points outside of the fourth quarter. Yo, that ain't going to get it done. Your garbage time yardage, tempo yardage, points, playing catch up, that ain't sustainable. It's why you're 1-2. Now, it's not all Jameis' fault. To that point, Dennis Allen is right. Jameis Winston didn't fumble yesterday, leading to a scoop and score. Alvin Kamara did. That's 7 points right there. Jameis Winston didn't miss a field goal. Will Lutz did. Jameis Winston didn't get a field goal blocked. Your field goal unit did. I'd even take it. I mean, right there is 13 points. That 13-point swing is the game. It's why when I sat here after the Saints beat the Falcons and I said, never apologize for how you win a game because it is too damn hard to win in the NFL. However it comes, the margin is so small, you never apologize for how you win in the NFL. Look at Denver yesterday. Denver and the Niners was one of the most disgusting games I've ever seen in my life. Jimmy Garoppolo had to make one of the stupidest plays ever by an NFL quarterback running out of the back of the end zone for Denver to beat the 49ers. It is hard to win in the NFL. Carolina hadn't won a game in 9 tries. Their losing streak at the end of last season, the first 2 games of this year. You think Carolina is thinking, yeah, well, it sure was nice to win, but, man, needed that scoop and squat fumble by Kamara, a doink, blocked field goal, a missed field goal by Lutz. I guess it's nice to win, but no! You win. It's hard to win. So, you never apologize for how you win, but the margin is so small. So you think about those few plays. A doinked field goal or a missed field goal, a blocked field goal, a fumble, scoop and score. It's a 13-point swing. That's your ball game. You lost by 8. I mean, the reverse, you win by 5. You cover. I mean, if you don't give the fumble for the scoop and score and then the 2 botches on the field goal, go to the first possession. The Saints' first possession of the ball game. You're moving the football. You get a 17-yard completion over the middle to Michael Thomas down to the Carolina 19-yard line. They call it chop block on Mark Ingram. Brings it back, drive stalls, you punt. You're at the 19. You're about to get points on your opening drive of the ball game. This team right now has too many self-inflicted wounds. Jameis Winston is part of your problem right now. It's undeniable. But he's not your only problem. And he's not the only reason you lost the game on Sunday. But with that said, you cannot sustain this right here, where you go 3 quarters without scoring and then you're in overdrive trying to put up yards and points. And we've got a 3-game sample right now that suggests either his back is limiting him or he's just not the guy. One of those 2 things is part of your reality. And it's also the reason why you signed Andy Dalton. Y'all, we've seen this now for 3 straight years. Go back to 2018. You go back to when Drew Brees banged his thumb on Aaron Donald's helmet and missed the chunk of the season, and Teddy Bridgewater went 5-0. I mean, that was 2019, excuse me. We're seeing this now every year. It's why you had Teddy Bridgewater. Then it was Taysom Hill who filled in the COVID year in 2020. Last year, you saw it again with Simeon and Hill. Y'all, you've had to have, with Jameis towards ACL, you've had to do this now 3 years in a row. Now it's 4 years in a row where you've seen your starting quarterback get injured. It's why you signed Andy Dalton. It's why you signed Jameis Winston. It's why you had Teddy Bridgewater to prepare for this possibility. Well, the possibility is here again. It's now your reality. Take advantage of it. You plan for this accordingly. The dude started over 100 games in his career. Give Jameis time to get right. I'm not saying punt on Jameis. I'm saying give him time to go get healthy and play the healthy guy that's been a more than capable starting quarterback, who's been a playoff caliber starting quarterback in his career, and say, go guide my offense. Get the ball to my playmakers. Let's go beat Minnesota. Come home, beat Seattle, get Jameis healthy, get the train back on the tracks. Get this thing going in the right direction. It doesn't sound like Dennis Allen is going to do that. And yeah, he's got more information than you and me and all of us on what's going on in that locker room with these guys and their health. But for the sake of this season and his job in New Orleans, he better be right. Because if you continue to run out an injured quarterback who's limiting your offense and you keep losing games as a result of it, ultimately coaches are hired in the NFL to be fired. We saw 15 years of Sean Payton because, and he was awesome, but it's the greatest run we've ever seen in the history of this franchise. That ain't the norm. Our reality has been a little convoluted because of the run we just saw with Peyton and Breeze. That ain't the norm in the NFL. And we're getting a taste of it right now. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.